What in the hell? Holy crap. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk Raptors. I'm your host, Tisham, my channel where you get reviews, analysis, predictions, and hot takes on all things Raptors as well as some NBA. So, the Raptors are back after the All Star break, and it didn't go well. So, without further ado, let's talk Raptors versus the Charlotte Hornets in Charlotte. So, there's to put it in this one basically this game was one of those games. The Raptors come out, completely bland in energy. Nothing going on the defensive end, just as same on nothing going on the offensive end. We did, try to make some runs here and there, and then eventually, the Hornets went on a 10-0 run. I think it was a mid-second quarter, blow the game open to about 18-point lead, and then after that, you think the Raptors usually come out in the third quarter and do well, but that didn't happen. By I think it was mid third quarter to late third quarters, the Charlotte Hornets were up almost 43 to 45 points. Eventually, Nick Nurse, decides to bench the starters because they didn't have it. He goes with Scotty Barnes. What was it else? Thaddeus Young, Chris Boucher, Precious Achua, and Delano Banton in the start to finish the third quarter. And they start to do a little bit, get it down to about 30 points or so. And then the fourth quarter, he plugs Malachi in. The ball starts to move. And eventually, the Raptors still weren't good enough because he gave up. And we should have given up by the third quarter. Nick Nurse made the right move. And we lose this game 125 to 93, a 32-point loss. Now, the key takeaways before I get into them, I ain't that worried. I am not going to take one game coming out of a week-long break as evidence that, the Raptors are going to struggle going into the last part of the season. The Raptors are a far better team than they played today. Their starters are doing very, very well. Their bench was finally figuring things out. And, it's just one of those games, especially when you have to come out for a break like that outside of your home on a road, and it's not going to go well most of the time. And that's kind of evidence in most of the games that are happening right now, is that teams that are playing away from home are the ones that are ending up losing the games. So the first key takeaway I have is not to worry about this game. It's not a great, it was one of those games that you just chalk up to whatever the hell's happening, And second key takeaway I have is that the Scotty Barnes looked like a good player today. He finally looked like a guy who was feeling a little bit more healthier, wanting to get out there and do something. He had 28 points today, team leading, right? And he was the only one that had energy. So that was good to see that our youngster had that energy, because it would help us going forward, right? When Scotty's actually trying to do the offensive part of the game as well, rather than just defensive assists. Because Scotty around the bucket is, I'm not going to go as, I don't want to say he's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but he's damn good, man. He's got that hook, even though his hook sucked on the All-Star break skills challenge. But his hook is pretty good in the game. He's good at getting to the bucket. He had the sweet dunk where it was half a poster on, I think his name is Thor or something like that, on the Charlotte Hornets. And, he looked like he was more feeling healthier. He didn't have the tape on his hand. And he was chirping guys. He was, trying to boost his team up and everything like that. So that was pretty good to see. And it's a good sign going for us, into our game tomorrow, which is the Atlanta Hawks. So that goes into my third key takeaway, which is that, sorry guys, that the Raptors need to win tomorrow. Why? Because the standings are very, very close. The Raptors are, I think, now 3 games that they still need to play to catch up to Boston, to equal the amount of games that we played. And every game for us counts, because that will put us in the 6th seed. And especially with the moves that Brooklyn has made, it is likely that the Brooklyn will make a run once Kevin Durant comes back, once Ben Simmons comes back, and Kyrie gets to play a little bit more games. So the Raptors, every game for the Raptors counts very, very much, and the Raptors need to, take it seriously. Today's game, write it off. Tomorrow, show up and blow the other team out to get your confidence back and get everything going, right? The last key takeaway I have, guys, is that Nick Nurse needs to play Malachi Flynn a little bit more. Every time Malachi comes into the game, it just seems like there's a calmness going on. There's ball movement happening. He's doing the right passes. He's good on the defensive end. He's doing a lot more than I've seen Delano do. I think it's because, Malachi being a second year player has more court vision, knows, the schemes better. So he should be the one getting minutes prior to Delano Benton getting them because, he's going to be good. Same thing with Thaddeus Young, man. I like Thaddeus Young. He's good to, plug in there when we need a defensive-oriented person. But his free throw shooting is horrible. His three-point shot doesn't look that good. And why continue to play guys that are not going to give you offense, especially with the bench unit, you know what I'm saying? So Nick Nurse needs to look into plugging in Malachi Flynn, possibly giving CV more of a run. Let him get back into the rhythm, and that might help us out going forward, especially into the playoffs, which we need to get into, right? So that's something that Nick Nurse needs to take a look at, and once he does, I'm pretty sure we will be better. So MVP, nobody today because we played like shit and the Raptors just didn't have it today. So, but I would still, give some honorable mention to Scotty Barnes for playing a pretty good game and to the Raptors bench for giving us the respect of not losing by 40 much points. At a moment, I thought they were really going to lose like the Oklahoma City Thunder, like garbage, But eventually pulled it back a little bit and made it not respectable, but at least, swallowable that we lost by only 32 points. So that's all I have for you guys for this video. Raptors fans, do not worry. The Raptors are far better than they played today, and we will show that tomorrow. My prediction for tomorrow's game, we blow the damn Atlanta Hawks out of the gym because we will be pissed after what the hell happened today. So that's all I have for you guys for this video. Please hit that like and subscribe button, help my channel grow, and I will see you guys after the game tomorrow.